In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to find all of the 5 shadow safe houses. This is part of the Brutus Briefing challenges. The reason I'm doing this so late in the game is because I noticed a lot of people having difficulty locating the 5 houses. So I'm going to not only show you where to go to find these shadow safe houses, I'm also going to explain to you in detail how to find them. It's really not that hard, but you do need to know where to go because most of them are pretty simple, but a couple of them are a little tricky. So I'm going to be showing you all that. I'm going to be showing you alternate ways to do it in case it doesn't work for you in any given house. And with that said, let's go ahead and just get started. Okay, so as you know, you're going to have to find a total of 5 shadow safe houses to complete this. And by the way, the reward for completing this challenge, if you have not yet completed 18 out of 20 of the Brutus Briefing challenges, you will get to pick alternate style, which is of course shadow or ghost, and that's your pick. They also give you some XP, so there's still incentive to complete it, even if you already finished with that particular goal. This map here depicts where all of the shadow safe houses are located, and like I said, we're going to start off with one of the easier ones. That's just north of HEDGES. I'll show you how to go to that one first, or what to do to quote-unquote find this shadow safe house. All you have to do to have this register and count toward your challenge completion is basically go there. It doesn't matter if you land there or if you land somewhere else and walk there. Visit the house. Depending on the game mode you're playing in, you might want to grab a weapon or two first. You might want to disguise yourself. That's all up to you. And speaking of game modes, I just want to interject this real quick here. The game mode, since you might be wondering, the game mode that you play in doesn't matter. It will give it to you. Like if you visit this house in Team Rumble, it will give it to you the same as it would give it to you in solos or duos or whatever. But the only problem is that with a couple of the other locations later on, as you'll see, the porta potties that you're going to need to teleport to the locations are not there in Rumble. So I'm going to talk more about that later when we get to that part. So don't worry about it too much right now. Right now, all you have to do is find the spot on the map right here, find this house, go to it, visit it. If it doesn't register, which you can check at any time, like here, when you pull up your menu, you can see your progress with this challenge as well as with others. And as you can see, this particular player has already completed 2 out of 5 shadow safe houses, in particular HEDGES and the one we're going to actually talk about next, which is at Lazy Lake. And so you can check that way at any time, whether you're in game or out of game. And you can also check via the challenge table if you're not in a game. But at any rate, yeah, so all you need to do to complete this particular house is just go to it, and usually it'll show that you have completed the house on the upper left-hand side of your screen. If it doesn't show that, don't freak out. Sometimes the game glitches out and doesn't show that even though it has given it to you, which is why I recommend that if you're really concerned about it, just check your progress like I just showed you. Besides that, just go in, you know, step inside or something, kill a henchman or 2, I don't know. Do whatever you need to do. If you tried and it didn't work before, just try to make your visit a little thorough. That's all I can advise about that. This one's a pretty easy one, and there's really not much to it. So let's get on with the next one. The next one is also a very easy one, and it doesn't require much. As you can see on the map, it's found on the bigger of the 2 islands in the middle of Lazy Lake. Basically, a lot of these shadow safe houses, you'll recognize them because there's usually a helicopter pad there, and if no one has taken it yet, there's usually a helicopter there as well. So it's kind of recognizable from a distance. So again, it's your choice whether you want to hop into one of these little phone booths here and disguise yourself prior to going inside. And it also probably depends on the mode that you're playing in. This is another one that you can complete in Rumble because you don't have to teleport over there, although you can from this porta potty right here on this smaller island to the left. So you can do that, or you can just land right there, roof if you want, or wherever. around it. Just go as near as possible as you can to it. Go inside it. You should have no problem completing this one in that manner as well. Just make sure you visit it, that's all. So 3 more houses left. Next house we're going to look at now is actually in Pleasant Park, and it actually is, I'm sure you've probably seen it by now. It's where the soccer field opens up, and there's a bunch of henchmen, and there's a helicopter there. And the thing is about this one, you cannot complete this part of the challenge by just going there. You must absolutely teleport from one of 2 locations. You have 2 locations to pick from as far as teleporting goes and how to get there. But luckily they're both located very close by in Pleasant Park themselves, and I'm about to show you both of them and where they are. The other thing about this is this cannot be done in Rumble, because in Rumble the porta potties that you use to teleport to the location, they do not appear. So you just cannot complete this particular shadow safe house in Rumble. I just wanted to make that perfectly clear. That might be a problem, an issue that you're having. I would suggest going into a solo match and just doing it that way. So the first way to get to the shadow safe house location for Pleasant Park is this building right here. I'm going to show you right here on the screen. Right behind it, there's a dumpster and there's a porta potty. Just hop right in that porta potty and it will spit you out right here in that location that we just talked about. Again, you cannot go there directly, so just head right to the porta potty, and this is the first way to do it. It should give you credit for this particular location, and you can move along after that. Now, if that doesn't work for some reason, or if you prefer, for whatever reason, there is another location in Pleasant Park that also transports you there, and that's also another porta potty that's located right here on the southeastern side. If you're coming up north on Pleasant Park, pretty much run right into it. It's right here. This also hops you into that tube, and you teleport over there and it spits you out right here. And there you go. That's all there is to that. Again, don't go right to it. I can't emphasize that enough. Just make sure you use one of those 2 porta potties, and whichever one you want to use is up to you. Okay, 2 more left, and then you're all done. The next one we're going to talk about is this location just on top of the hill here, a bit southeast of Craggy Cliffs. It's this house right here, and this is another one that you could feel free to visit in any game mode. And also another thing, just real quick, because I forgot to mention this before, somebody had asked whether it works if you visit the location during the storm, because as you know, when there are henchmen there and the storm hits any of these houses or any of these, locations, the henchmen disappear. And so it's a good question to ask as to whether it works in the storm. The short answer is yes, absolutely, it works. So if you want to play around in the storm and do it that way, that's totally fine. At any rate, where were we? So this house is located right here. Again, it's up to you whether you feel more comfortable stopping first and using one of these phone booths. All up to you. Just make sure that you do pay this house a thorough visit as well. There were 1 or 2 occasions where it didn't work for me. Like, I had visited the house, but for some reason it didn't give it to me. And I wanted to tell you something about this house in particular. If that happens to you, if you're looking at your progress and it's still showing that you haven't made any progress on this challenge, well, here's a trick that I figured out. This usually makes it work. If you're having problems with this particular location, just enter the house from wherever and make sure that you make your way down to the basement. And once you're in the basement, locate this porta potty right here. Hop into here and make sure that it teleports you over and spits you out right here into this location here. This should absolutely, without a doubt, have this location count as progress toward completing the challenge. So now we're down to just 1 location, and to find this one I really suggest that you zoom in on this map so that you can see exactly where it is. It's approximately directly east of Frenzy Farm. In essence, it's accessed via this gas station that you see circled here. I have deliberately left this one for last. Getting to it can be a little bit tricky. So there's two ways to do it. You can either go right into this building here and enter this porta potty, and it'll spit you out right here, and that should give it to you. That, from what I've seen, is the most surefire method and the most surefire way of doing this and of completing it. If for whatever reason it still does not register it still does not show that you've completed this challenge or this house or whatnot, then try it this way. First, go to this porta potty right here. You're going to walk right in. It's right next to the house that you were just in, the little room, I should say, that you were just in. Hop on in, it'll spit you right back out. I know, it's kind of strange. And then, without getting shot at and killed, make your way across the street to the porta potty that's right here at this bus stop, and hop in as quickly as possible, because you're probably getting shot at. And that will teleport you again to this mysterious location, which is the 5th shadow house. And that should absolutely give it to you at that point. So one of those two methods is absolutely going to work. I guarantee it. If it doesn't, please leave me a comment below, and please detail what you have done exactly and what the problem is, because I have done this many times. I've done it with several different accounts, and I've done each house several times, and I've kind of seen what works and what doesn't work. And so if you're still having problems, I would actually love to hear from you. I hope that you're not, but I would love to hear from you. So just leave a comment and I will do my best to help out. And that's all that I have to say about this. I hope that this tutorial is helpful. I think it should be. I think you'll find that it's one of the most thorough or detailed video tutorials that you're going to find out there. So that's it for now. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time.